I came home early. What I heard them say about me changed everything. Hey friends, pull up a chair and lean in close because what I'm about to share with you today hit me like a freight train. Imagine this. You've been grinding at work for months, pouring everything into providing for the people you love most, and one random Tuesday you decide to surprise them by coming home hours early. Your heart is light, you're picturing their smiles, maybe even a warm hug from your wife and excited shouts from the kids. But instead, you hear voices through the cracked door. Voices talking about you, and every word feels like a knife twisting deeper. If you've ever felt invisible in your own home, or wondered if the people closest to you truly see you, stay with me. This story is for you. If it moves you even a little, please hit that like button and subscribe. We're building a community here where real stories and real healing happen every week. Your support means the world. My name is Mark Thompson. At 42, I thought I had life figured out. I was the guy who woke up at 5 every morning, kissed my sleeping wife Sarah on the forehead, and headed to the construction firm I'd helped build from a small crew into a respected local company. Long days, longer nights. Weekends blurred into emergency site visits and client meetings. I told myself it was all for them. Sarah, our 15-year-old daughter Emily, and our 10-year-old son Jake. The big house in the suburbs, the braces on Emily's teeth, Jake's soccer gear, the family vacations we kept promising, next year. I believed I was being the hero. But heroes get tired, and tired men don't always notice the quiet cracks forming at home. That Tuesday started like any other. A brutal deadline on a downtown project had me exhausted by 2 in the afternoon. The client unexpectedly pushed the meeting to the next day, and for the first time in months, I had an entire free afternoon. I stopped at the bakery Sarah loves, picked up her favorite lemon raspberry cake and a couple of those ridiculous superhero cupcakes for the kids. Driving home, I was humming along to the radio, imagining their faces when I walked through the door. I even pictured us piling onto the couch for an old movie night, the kind we hadn't had in forever. I pulled into the driveway just after 3. The house looked peaceful, sunlight spilling across the front porch where Jake's bike lay on its side. I slipped my key in quietly, wanting the surprise to land perfectly. As soon as I stepped inside, I heard voices coming from the living room. Sarah's warm laugh mixed with Emily's higher pitch and Jake's occasional giggles. My heart swelled. I was about to call out when I caught my name. Mark just doesn't get it anymore, Sarah was saying, her voice soft but heavy. He comes home so late, collapses on the couch, and it's like he's already asleep before his head hits the pillow. I miss him. Not the provider, not the guy paying the bills. Just Mark. I froze in the hallway, the bakery bag suddenly heavy in my hands. My pulse hammered in my ears. I should have walked in. I should have laughed it off. But something in her tone kept me rooted there, hidden behind the half-open door like a stranger in my own house. Emily spoke next, her teenage voice cracking with emotion I rarely heard directed at me. Mom, Dad's like a ghost. He missed my choir concert last month because of some stupid meeting. Again, I told everyone he was coming, and then I had to stand there smiling like it didn't hurt. Jake keeps asking why Dad doesn't play video games with him anymore. It's like, we're not even a family. We're just people living in the same house. Jake's small voice followed, so innocent it nearly broke me. I drew him a picture at school today. But I didn't show him last night 'cause he looked too tired. Do you think he even likes my drawing? Tears stung my eyes. The cake bag slipped a little in my grip. Every late night, I'll make it up to you. Every time I chose 1 more hour at the office over bedtime stories, they all came rushing back like accusation. I wanted to run. Part of me wanted to burst in and defend myself, to list every sacrifice, every overtime hour, every dream I'd put on hold so they could have stability. But I stayed silent, listening as the people I loved most in the world laid my failures bare. Sarah sighed deeply. I love him so much. That's the hardest part. He thinks he's doing this for us, but I'd rather live in a tiny apartment if it meant having the man I married back. The one who used to dance with me in the kitchen and stay up all night talking about our dreams. I don't know how to tell him without making him feel like a failure. He carries so much already. The room went quiet for a moment. Then Emily said something that shifted everything inside me. Maybe we should plan something. Like, surprise him. Show him we see how hard he works, but we need him more than the stuff. A real family weekend. No phones. Just us. Jake cheered softly. And I can show him my new soccer tricks. He used to be really good at goalie. I stood there, tears streaming down my face, the weight of their love and their pain crashing over me all at once. They weren't tearing me down. They were grieving the version of me that had slowly disappeared. And in that grief was still so much love. Love I had stopped noticing because I was too busy proving I deserved it. I took a deep breath, wiped my face, and stepped into the living room. The bakery bag crinkled loudly. 3 heads turned toward me in surprise. Mark. Sarah's eyes widened. You're home early. I set the bag on the coffee table, my voice thick. Yeah, client meeting got postponed. I wanted to surprise you guys. I looked at each of them. Sarah's worried but hopeful expression, Emily's guarded teenage eyes, Jake's bright innocent smile. But it sounds like I'm the one who got surprised. The words hung there. For a second, I thought they might deny it or try to soften the blow. Instead, Sarah stood up, walked over, and wrapped her arms around me. She smelled like the vanilla candle she always burns in the home I'd been missing. You heard us, she whispered. I nodded, holding her tight. Every word. And you're right. I've been gone even when I was here. I thought providing meant I was enough. But I was wrong. What followed was one of the hardest, most beautiful conversations of my life. We sat on that couch for hours. I told them about the pressure I felt to never let them down, how my own dad had struggled and I swore I'd be different, only to become a different kind of absent. Sarah shared how lonely the nights had become, how she'd started wondering if she was failing as a wife because she couldn't pull me back. Emily admitted the resentment she'd been carrying, the fear that her dad was becoming a stranger. Jake just wanted his buddy back. There were tears. There were long silences. There were even a few laughs when Jake dramatically reenacted my tired dad walk across the living room. But mostly, there was honesty, the kind that hurts but heals. That night changed everything. I started small. I turned down a big project the next week, the first time in years. Instead, I coached Jake's soccer practice on Saturday morning. Emily and I stayed up late one night talking about her dreams for after high school, no distractions. Sarah and I went on real dates again. Nothing fancy, just walks in the park and coffee that lasted hours. I learned to leave work at work. The company didn't collapse. In fact, delegating more made me a better leader. And at home, the laughter came back louder than I remembered. It wasn't perfect. Old habits tried to creep in. There were still tough weeks where deadlines loomed. But now we had tools. Family meetings every Sunday night, no phones dinners, and the courage to say when we felt disconnected. The distance that had grown between us closed, inch by inch, through intention and love. Looking back, coming home early that day was the greatest gift I never planned. It forced me to see myself through their eyes, not as the failing provider I feared I was, but as someone deeply loved and deeply missed. It reminded me that success without presence is just a beautiful cage. If you're watching this and feeling the weight of being the strong one, the provider, the always available friend or parent, please hear this: your people don't need you to be perfect or superhuman. They need you, the real you, tired, imperfect, present. Take the risk of listening. Take the risk of changing. The relationships worth keeping are the ones that can survive the truth. Thank you for letting me share my story with you today. If this touched you, if it reminded you of your own life, smash that like button and subscribe for more real, heartfelt stories that matter. Drop a comment below. Have you ever overheard something that changed how you showed up for your family? I read every single one. You're not alone in this. Let's keep supporting each other. Until next time, go home a little earlier when you can. The people waiting there need you more than you know.